Anaheim Rangers says, love checking out your recent Skyrim playthrough. Usually don't watch live. Wanted to ask, how often do you hop back on EverQuest these days? No, I don't. I uh I did my last EverQuest session. I can't even tell you. It's been 4 or 5 years ago now. I will never. That's a chapter of the book that's been closed. It's kind of like I don't go back and play Pools of Radiance ever again. It was a great game when it came out, right? Pools of Radiance was awesome. I can't go back and play Pools of Radiance. The minimum level. We had a great conversation about this during last night's stream, and it was this morning's video on YouTube. I have a minimum tolerance for graphics and mechanics, and EverQuest has passed beyond the threshold, which means I just can't play it anymore. I'm unwilling to put up with, you know, 25-year-old um, mechanics from a time when we couldn't program quality of life things into games. It's not so much the graphics, it's mostly the mechanics. The graphics, I can put up with old crappy graphics. But yeah, quality of life stuff, no, I'm over it. I've even been bitching about that in my recent Skyrim, my second Skyrim playthrough, like the lack of ability to fast travel from inside of the dungeons. Even though I love Skyrim and I'm having a great time, that lack of a fast travel feature annoys the hell out of me because I want that in my current games, like modern games. Even this game does that. We have to like go to waypoints, signposts, which is the same thing that like Witcher 3 did. It's a way of doing it, but I much prefer fast travel just because, minor annoyance, but little things that I could point out at. Whereas the differences between minor annoyances and big things like EverQuest, yeah. Well, yeah, it's not even that. Like, I've got an episode. So your follow-up was being a variety streamer. There's so many new things to play with, right? So this is an interesting point. This is actually going to get spun out into a YouTube video now, because hang on, I'm timestamping this. Why don't you play EQ? Or I think the question was not why don't you. It was would you ever? Okay. And we started this round. 6 minutes. Okay. Um, so going back to what you were saying, being a variety streamer, there's so many new things to play with. If you go back in the history of this channel, look at the first year that I started streaming full time, which was what, 2022? Yes. And the first year that I was streaming, I was playing a lot of old school MMOs on this channel. We were doing EverQuest, Project 1999, EverQuest 2 progression servers. We were doing, along with Lord of the Rings Online and Star Wars Old Republic, but also, why am I blanking? Oh, we did like World of Warcraft Classic as well. I still ran guilds back then. And that first year we were also not multi-stream, we were co-streaming with other people who were in our guild and we were grouping with and doing regular MMO content with. Oh, the Vanguard Saga of Heroes emulator, that one too. And I noticed that by the end of like the first summer, I was like, nobody was getting any growth. I was like, this is not a sustainable way to stream. This is not a sustainable way to make content because I'm trying to scale a business. This is actually, if you go back and watch, I have a series on YouTube called How to Make a Living as a Content Creator and Streamer, and this is explained in greater detail in one of the episodes. I think it's the one on, do you become a variety streamer or do you become a niche streamer? And this is the example, one of the examples I give. We give multiple examples. I wasn't seeing any growth by playing old school MMOs. I was personally having fun, but there was no growth at all. And there were all of these new games coming out that I wanted to play. And I started to look around in the landscape of people who were streaming, and I was like, who do I really want to emulate? Who do I really like as a content creator? And I looked at CoCarnage and I said, that dude plays a lot of games, including old school games. That's what I want to do. And so I looked at that and said, that's where I'm going to focus. And if you go back and look, all of the people that I used to play with who were also attempting to start their YouTube channels and attempting to start their streaming careers, none of them exist anymore. They all disappeared off the internet. And the reason is because there's no growth in playing old school MMOs. There is a small niche community around them. I still find enjoyment in them, but like, I think the minimum level of standards for me would be something like EverQuest 2, but I've also done EverQuest 2 so much even with my wife, I have streams on the channel. There's old VODs where my wife, for the first time in her life, tried MMOs, and she played for like 4 months. She did EverQuest 2, Lord of the Rings Online, and World of Warcraft with me. And she liked EverQuest 2 the most out of all three of them. Even though World of Warcraft is more streamlined and has localized Spanish so that she could get immersed in it, she wasn't having to read and translate. Um, she loved EverQuest 2. It's a great game. But yes, focusing on new releases is a far better business strategy for someone like me, and it has worked very well because we've obviously now we're coming up at the end of our fourth year of doing this full time. We've only seen it's been growth, 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 growth every year, year after year. It's there's so many new games to play. So yeah, EverQuest has a special place in my heart because I played it for 7 years and it sort of was like my late teens, early 20s. I know lifed that game quite a bit. I remember being level 45 and doing, chain pulling for 19 hours to get through level 45 when it was a hell level outside of Karnor's castle in the Dreadlands. And I mean, I have great memories of that. But yeah, I can't go back. That's a book closed. We have way more things to focus on, um, which is also why, like, if you look at traditionally every Christmas, like from about Christmas time up until the end of January, I almost always go back and play like older games. Like we're doing Skyrim right now. Um, uh, what else have we done? A little bit of Divinity Original Sin 2. Last year I did the entire Mass Effect series. But that's about the only. It's like a 6-week window when no one's pushing out new games because the budgets have all been spent. Everybody's in the holidays, and then we get into January, and everybody's saving their budgets for the spring releases, right? The February, March, getting into those release dates. And so it's always been a perfect time to go back and play older games during that 6 weeks window of time. But the rest of the year is new releases because there's just so many. I mean, last year I think we did 40. I know we did like 30 new releases, and I think like 40-ish games overall last year. It was like 3 to 4 games on average per month, with no, and some of that was skewed because like September we played 9 games in the month of September and 7 games in the month of October to completion, I might add. Um, I logged some insane hours in September and October of last year. I won't be doing that this year, by the way. I learned my lesson. I was like, I'm too old for that shit. That's for young streamers who want to sit there for 12 to 14 hours a day. I have no need to do that. That's not. I've learned that's not for me. I could do a good 8-hour day, but those an occasional 12-hour day is fine. But there was like 2 months where I did 12-hour days every day of streaming, and it was fun. But oh my god. Anyway, no more EverQuest. It's a great game though, and I fondly look forward to. If EverQuest 3 ever comes about, I will happily play it, assuming it has like modern mechanics. Um, Folks, show up. And good morning, everybody. For those of you logging in the first 15 minutes of the stream, we got caught up in a tangent, which is great. That'll get clipped out for YouTube later today.